Amid heightened tensions between the ruling TVK and the opposition DMK in Tamil Nadu, Vijay's government has tabled its first budget in the state assembly today. Finance Minister N. Mary Wilson presented the budget in the assembly. Major announcements include the Annan Seerthitham scheme, under which 8 grams of gold coin and a silk sari will be provided to brides. Free breakfast will be provided in government schools till class 8th. The budget also focuses on skill training, with the government pledging AI skills training to 5 lakh students by 2031. Separately, 1 lakh job seekers will also be provided skills training in the state. Additional coaching classes have also been announced for students preparing for competitive exams. Over 3,700 government schools will be modernized under the Palli Niruvayithittam scheme in a bid to boost the EV charging infra in the state. The TVK government has planned to set up 20,000 EV charging stations across the state. Other major announcements include setting up of Tirupur Textile Centre, 5 new industrial training institutes, 10 Olympic centres of excellence, and a hike in the Hajj pilgrimage subsidy. The TVK has also delivered on its poll promise of 1 gram of gold ring for every newborn in government hospital. In terms of budget allocations, over 44,000 crore rupees has been allocated to school education, while over 17,000 crore rupees has been set aside for special project implementation. Around 15,000 crore rupees has been allocated to agriculture, 10,000 crore rupees for social welfare, and around 16,000 crore rupees to the energy sector. During his budget speech, State Finance Minister N. Mary Wilson announced an ambitious target to make the state a $1.5 trillion economy by 2036. Wilson also said that Tamil Nadu's debt has been doubled in the last 5 years, touching 10 lakh crore rupees. Earlier this year, Vijay's government tabled a white paper on the state finances under the previous DMK government. The paper showed that Tamil Nadu had incurred massive debt and recorded country's second highest revenue deficit, leaving little room for capital expenditure and new schemes. The opposition DMK and the AIADMK have slammed the budget. DMK chief M.K. Stalin hit out at Chief Minister Vijay, calling the budget nothing more than a remake version of the Dravidian model government's existing schemes. Further, Stalin took a dig at TVK, saying the much-hyped budget turned out to be dull and lackluster. Leader of opposition Udayanidhi Stalin also accused the TVK of copying DMK's schemes. Udayanidhi also spoke about his detention and reiterated his charge that the TVK government used his arrest to divert attention from the ongoing Kaveri dispute.
There is no scheme in this budget to fulfill the promises made during the election campaign. We should thank the Finance Minister for acknowledging that Tamil Nadu ranks number 1 in many sectors. However, this government has merely pasted the name Vetri, which is also the name of their party, onto existing schemes.
AIADMK chief Edapadi K. Palaniswamy also hit out at the TVK and accused it of renaming existing schemes. Palaniswamy questioned why the TVK government had not fulfilled the promises it made in the run-up to the assembly elections. Our principal correspondent, Siddharth MP, who is tracking the latest developments, is joining us live from Chennai. Siddharth, what more can you tell us about the big announcements made in this budget?
The Vijay government's maiden budget can be termed as a Gen Z-centric budget because much of the allocation has been towards the school education sector and the higher education sector in terms of certain schemes as well, be it laptops for college students, then providing bicycles for students in class 11, which is those in their late teens. Thereafter, modification and upgrade of several schools, almost 3,300 plus schools. So most of them seem to be aimed towards youngsters and Gen Z. In addition to that, there is also the scheme for brides, where there would be certain doles given out to brides ahead of their marriage. Then for newborn children, 1 gram gold ring and so on. So these are schemes that are aimed at young women and Gen Z in many ways. But at the same time, as you pointed out, there has been a lot of criticism. For example, the BJP in Tamil Nadu has hit out at TVK government, saying that these are short-term political doles that you're giving. They may fetch you short-term political results, but in the long run, what will really benefit the state is the big infrastructure projects, be it ports, be it highways, be it energy infrastructure, be it agricultural projects, and so on. So the BJP has also criticized the TVK government, saying that these are just short-sighted projects and not long-term projects, and only if you make long-term investments can you generate jobs. Only that will sort of promote industrial growth and development. And they say that this budget has not done enough to realize the $1.5 trillion vision that Chief Minister Vijay has for Tamil Nadu by 2036. And as you pointed out, both the opposition parties, including the DMK, the principal opposition, and ADMK, second largest party in Tamil Nadu Assembly, have been lashing out at the TVK government, saying that this is merely a copy-paste budget, where every scheme that the previous governments had brought in has just been renamed with the Vetri prefix. Vetri means victory, and of course that's also the middle word in the TVK party's name, Tamilnaga Vetri Kazhagam. So just that word victory has been added to every scheme, and they go on to accuse that there is nothing new in this, and it's only a continuation of what the earlier governments were doing, and they're starting to hold the government to account over what happened to their ambitious poll promises, because the government had made significant poll promises during their election campaign. The TVK had said that LPG cylinders would be given for women. They'd spoken about loan waivers, and they'd spoken about many schemes which were actually those that would attract voters. But now the opposition parties are holding the government to account and asking what is the status of these schemes and what happened to this. But at the same time, the government has also been cautious. The Finance Minister Wilson has been mentioning repeatedly that the state's debt burden is 10 lakh crores, and over the last 5 years, this 5 lakh crore became 10 lakh crores. So he goes on to say that state's debt burden doubled over the last 5 years. By pointing that out, what the minister has done is he's possibly taking a very careful stance by saying that while we can dole out certain welfare measures, it will have to be done carefully so that the state's debt burden does not increase rapidly and increase significantly. And right from his very first speech, Chief Minister Vijay had emphasized that he would need time to fulfill his promises. And he said that, he understands the state finances are not in good shape. So clearly the TVK government now on a back foot, because all the opposition parties are now attacking them over this budget and raising questions over unfulfilled poll promises. But of course, the TVK maintains that they'll need time to set things right and then deliver on their promises.
Thank you for all those updates, Siddharth.